Alright, number 2 basically says find the second derivative of y cubed equals x squared. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with that. We have y cubed equals x squared right here. So what I want to do is basically start with my left hand side. This is the chain rule, so we say the power, which is 3, times my expression to the one less power, which is y squared, times the derivative of what's being raised to the power, which is simply dy dx. Right there, this left hand part. The right hand part is simply the regular power or chain rule, and that's simply 2x. All we did was just bring the power down, times my expression to the one less power, times the derivative of what's being raised to the power. We know that the derivative of x is 1. Okay, from there your next step would be to simply divide by whatever's in front of the dy dx, which is 3y squared, so that we can isolate dy dx. So we get that it is equal to the numerator, which is 2x, and the denominator, which is 3y squared. Paste. Okay, so let's go ahead and just highlight this. Now what we need to do is basically find the second derivative. So if we keep it this way, this rule, or the rule that we use, would basically be the quotient rule, because it's division going on between these two terms. So let's go ahead and start off with dy dx, but this time, since we're taking the second one, we can express it as d squared. So d squared y over dx squared. That denotes that we're taking the second derivative. Okay, so if we take the second derivative, we basically have the derivative of the first. Well, what's the derivative of 2x? Well, that's simply two times the second, which is 3y squared. So go ahead and copy and paste so I won't have to, minus the first, which is 2x, times the derivative of the second, which is this part right here. What's the derivative of 3y squared? Well, if we do the power rule, we got to bring that 2 to the front, so that'll be 3 times 2, which is 6. Then the expression to the one less power, which is y, times the derivative of what's being raised to the power, and we all know that the derivative of y is simply dy dx. Okay, from there we say all over the bottom squared, so we say that it's basically this, and it's all squared, correct? Perfect. So now if I clean it up a little bit, I can say that 2 times 3 over here, so this all is 6y squared. So let's go ahead and, so this part is 6y squared right here, minus 2 times 6 is 12, so this is 12 xy. All I did was just simply combine. The only thing I multiplied together was the 6 and the 2, and then the x and the y, and just bring them along because they're being multiplied. Dy dx over, let's go ahead and distribute this power of 2 to both. 3 squared is simply 9. Y squared squared is simply y to the 4th, so we get 9y to the 4th. Okay, so we're almost done. Now we basically need to take care of this dy dx. If you think about it, we know what dy dx is because that's our first derivative, which is this part right here. So what I can do is I can substitute that dy dx with what it's worth. So let me go ahead and copy and paste. And then finally substitute what dy dx is equal to. which is 2x over 3y squared. Paste. And I'm going to leave it like that so you can see that it's actually what I substitute. Oh, it's the wrong one, sorry. It's this one right here. And I'm going to leave it like that so you can actually see that we are substituting. And then the only thing that's left for you to do is to basically cancel out some terms. If you can cancel out some terms, this is okay right here. This is okay. This y will actually cancel out with one of the y's here, so this y will go away, leaving us with just a y here. And then what we can do is we can multiply top times top, because this is the same thing as saying 12x over 1. So if we clean it up even more, we get 6y squared minus 12 times 2 is 24, and x times x is x squared. So we get 24 x squared over, and then 1 times 3y is simply 3y. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So we basically get 6y squared. All of this, well, actually this one goes away. This one goes away and it becomes 8. So we get 6y squared minus 8x squared over y, all over 9y to the 4th. Okay, now from there, if you really want to get rid of the fraction, we can actually multiply. That's my symbol for multiplication, by y over y, if you want to do that. So that means we multiply this entire numerator by y. When we do that, we get 6y cubed. And then when we multiply this second term by y, my y's will cancel out, leaving me only with 8x squared. And then if I multiply the bottom times the bottom, that will leave me with 9y to the 5th. And I have actually gotten rid of my fraction. So my final answer is 6y cubed minus 8x squared, all over 9y to the 5th. And let's see if that's the correct answer. And as you can see, that's what they did. 6y cubed minus 8x squared over 9y to the 5th. Okay? Alright, so basically we did number 1, we did number 2. Don't forget, go back and finish the normal line equation for number 1. I do apologize for not being here today. I had something that came up that was impromptu, and I had to take care of that. However, I will be here after 4th period. So if you have any questions or concerns, you're more than welcome to come by my room after 4th period. I should be there. But other than that, y'all have a great Thanksgiving. We don't have any assignments during the break because we actually did it. And I hope to see you all when we come back after the break. All right, thank you.